Good evening and welcome to the interim board meeting of the Board of School Directors of the School District of Springfield Township. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A reading of the mission statement. The mission of the School District of Springfield Township is to educate and develop all students as learners and citizens who are high-achieving, resilient, and responsible in a changing global community. Roll call, Mr. King.
Mr. Bedard. Here. Mr. Chapman. Here. Ms. Jordan. Here. Mr. Lapis. Here. Ms. Nelson. Here. Mr. Reyer. Here. Ms. Sarsfield. Here. Ms. Lipinski. Here. Dr. Karakowski.
Aye, here. The board at its discretion may videotape all or any portion of the public board meeting subject to the limitations set forth in policy 006.2, broadcasting of meetings. Board meetings will be broadcast on Friday afternoon following the board meeting. Are there any public comments on agenda items? Seeing none, we'll move to reports and information. This is a note for the agenda. We will be having a discussion with regard to an equity vision statement with the board, and that will be after the public comments on non-agenda items later in the meeting. Dr. Hacker?
Yes, we had a wonderful and very smooth opening to school today. I'm very happy to report I was able to get around to all of our buildings, see students in the classroom, and I heard comments as I was going through the hallway, everything from who the heck are you to aren't you the one that tells us when we don't have school in the wintertime. So it's amazing what those second graders and first graders will tell you as you're walking through the halls. But all in all, the students, even those, were happy to be back, and I think our teachers were happy to greet the children. And despite the fact that Labor Day weekend was a beautiful weekend, I didn't hear any complaints about the fact that people had to be back in school bright and early this morning. So we are happy to be back. We're looking forward to a very productive school year and hoping that it's a great year for all of our students. And that's really the only report that I have. Thank you.
All right, we'll move to new business. First item is personnel. The Board of School Directors approves the following personnel as presented in the attachment: certificated personnel, support personnel, temporary personnel, and extra pay for extra responsibilities. Is there a motion? Motion. And a second? Second. Any comments or questions? Mr. King?
Mr. Bedard. Aye. Mr. Chapman. Aye. Ms. Jordan. Aye. Mr. Lapis. Aye. Ms. Nelson. Aye. Mr. Reyer. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield. Aye. Ms. Lipinski. Aye. Dr. Karakowski.
Aye. Number 2, Chester County IU Brandywine Virtual Academy. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between the School District of Springfield Township and the Chester County Intermediate Unit for services rendered by Brandywine Virtual Academy from August 26, 2019 to June 5, 2020, as per the attachment E. Is there a motion? Motion. Second? Second. I don't know how to vote. Mr. King.
Mr. Bedard. Aye. Mr. Chapman. Aye. Ms. Jordan. Aye. Mr. Lapis. Aye. Ms. Nelson. Aye. Mr. Reyer. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield. Aye. Ms. Lipinski. Aye. Dr. Karakowski.
Aye. Number 3, Renaissance Learning, Inc. The Board of School Directors approves the contract with Renaissance Learning, Inc. for Renaissance Accelerated Reader, Renaissance Star 360, and Renaissance Star Early Literacy, including applications, platform services, and professional development in the amount of $30,824. Is there a motion?
Motion.
A second? Any comments or questions?
Mr. Bedard. Aye. Mr. Chapman. Aye. Ms. Jordan. Aye. Mr. Lapis. Aye. Ms. Nelson. Abstain. Mr. Reyer. Aye. Ms. Sarsfield. Aye. Ms. Lipinski. Aye. Dr. Karakowski.
Aye. Are there any public comments on non-agenda items? I see Mr. Weissman has signed up.
I'm sorry?
Do you want to come on up, Mr. Weissman? There's a seat right in the front at the table there with a microphone. I see you signed up for a comment on non-agenda items.
I had the privilege a couple of months ago of hearing Dr. Hacker do a spectacular presentation on the Holocaust to the middle school, I guess. And I have a check for $1,500, so you can arrange for a bus to take students from any school in the township you pick to the Holocaust Museum in Washington. I'm leaving it up to you guys to do all the arrangements, because I bow out after it. Who gets it? I want to see who reaches for it.
She can accept it. Dr. Hacker will, Dr. Hacker will accept the check. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. That's a very generous donation, and I know that the students are going to benefit greatly from the opportunity to visit the Holocaust Museum. Thank you.
So, Robert, again, thank you so much. You know, I know the board is extraordinarily grateful, as are we. We look forward to being able to put this into action. Last spring, after you promised me that you would provide a bus for that purpose and that you would be donating the proceeds to help fund the bus, I had promised you that I would be reaching out, in particular to our secondary school principals, which I immediately did. They are working on it, so I want you to know that plan is in action. But I'd also like the board to know that in addition to his generous check, Mr. Weissman also very generously donated a number of artifacts and phenomenal books and videos on the Holocaust as well for our students to use in their social studies curriculum. And as we all know, while the Holocaust is primarily about the decimation of one group of people, it's really about teaching us what hate can do to any group of people. And there were people from all religions, all sectors of humanity that were killed in the Holocaust. So this is a lesson for all of us about the horrors of war and about the horrors of hatred. So all students have something to gain and something to learn. So we thank you so much for your extraordinary generosity, Robert.
Thank you.
Boy, that check got pissed.
Takes care of all the money. So just an additional opportunity for us to do some discussion. We had met as a board with the administration in the spring, and the administration provided some information about all of the work that they have been doing through equitable practices and as part of their professional development and work with their faculties regarding equity and accessibility and inclusion and diversity in the district. And the board at that time felt that it was important to get behind the work that the administration is doing by developing a mission statement or vision statement, whatever we really want to call it, but giving some guiding thoughts and ideas and direction to the administration with regard to this initiative. So at the time that we met with Bob Jarvis from Delaware Valley Consortium for Equity and Excellence, and he had given us some information about policy statement or potential policy statement, some things that they had put together to help districts guide their thinking about policy and practice. So I provided that to you. I provided these things in email to the board in advance of the meeting. There's also a document in here called the LEAD tool, which Dr. Hacker has used with the administration here. I felt this was a really helpful tool for the board to take a look at all the different areas of equity in terms of self-reflection and growth, constructing and enacting an equity vision, developing organizational leadership, modeling ethical and equitable behavior, allocating resources, fostering an equitable school culture, collaborating with families, influencing the socio-political context, hiring and placing personnel, and these are all issues that were raised at our board workshop, and supervising for improvement of equitable instruction. And just kind of to give you the chance that we're not going to go through it today, but to give the board an idea and an understanding of sort of where we are on this continuum of improvement and striving for equity and equitable practice. So just some background information, but I also wanted to get working on a vision statement from the board. And so I did provide you with, our mission statement is right at the top there, because I wanted to try to be able to connect those two. And I tried to condense some of the material that Bob had given us, as well as look at some other vision statements to put something together, just to give us a starting point for that. So I wanted to just use this part of our meeting as an opportunity for discussion, comments, questions, thoughts, ideas, so that we can sort of develop a second draft, that at some point we will get to a draft that the board will adopt, along with the 6 goals of educational equity, and that will be part of our equity vision for the district. So I'm going to just open it up to thoughts, discussion, questions from the board. Anyway, go for it.
I just had one quick comment. In the first paragraph, the first sentence, it says, recognizing the growing diversity of our community. I feel like we are diverse, and I don't feel we need to call it growing anymore. So I would propose just saying recognizing the diversity of our community.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the first paragraph, and the mission statement really focuses on the district. We, as the board, have always been in oversight of the district. I think that it weakens the vision statement to talk about us. And I would propose that I would just take out the Board of School Directors and say the school district of Springfield Township is committed to and accountable for advancing equity, because I just think, we are part of the district. We had talked about the district later in, so.
Other thoughts about those portions?
I have a couple of comments. One, thank you for pulling together these materials in the first draft.
Sure.
Really appreciate it. It helps to reflect. 3 suggestions, and if anyone wants to comment on it now, that would be great. But one is recognizing as well that the school community is bigger than the students, right? So there's staff, administration, the school community. Do we want our equity statements to reflect that our practices are intended to create a belonging environment for all students, staff, and the community in the school? So that would be first comment. Second is, it sounds like we're going to cover this in the 6 goals of educational equity, or have covered it in the 6 goals, but reflecting in this statement that we're committed to ongoing measurement. I think it's really important to say it's not just something we feel, but something we're going to make sure that we're making progress on. And then the third, there was one of the examples talked about self-reflection and continuous reflection. I really like that idea, which opens up the idea of continual education, reviewing our policies on a regular basis, ensuring that training and development is in line with the latest practices. So just including that idea of a commitment to ongoing reflection.
Ongoing reflection, measurement, reflection. Okay.
Those were my comments.
Thank you. Anything else? Thoughts, comments? All right. Well, what we will do is I will kind of work up a second draft, try to include some of those comments, and see if we can pull something together. I'll throw it out to the board for a review, and if we seem to be feeling good about it, we will then put it up for a vote at a future meeting. Okay? If you have any comments or thoughts after looking at these materials more, please get back to me. Let me know if there's something that you particularly want to see in there. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay? All right, thank you very much. Appreciate your input for that. Future meeting dates, there's a regular school board meeting on Tuesday, September 17th, 2019 at 7 p.m. in the Freeze Memorial Lobby. An interim board meeting on Tuesday, October the 1st at 7 p.m. at Freeze Memorial Lobby. And no committee meetings as of this date. We're working on it. Great. Okay. All right, thank you very much. We're adjourned.